Yeah, hello guys. How are you doing today? So this is another episode on BizCamp, largest community of Nigerian design learning the business of design together. And today we'll be looking at how to create design mockup. So how exactly can you create design mockup? But before we move forward, let's look at some examples. Okay, so I go to my Behance portfolio, and yeah, some of the prayer I've worked on. Which should we check here? Okay, let's pick black MD. Yeah. Okay. Let's just pick another project. Just 1 minute. Then I'll be looking at contract. Okay. Amazing project. So basically, a mock-up is a way of presenting your idea in a realistic form. Most time, you know that anything we do as a designer, we do them on our design software, and most time they are not in existence, but we have designed create them with our design software. Now, the point is, how do you present this idea in a realistic form? So here for contract IQ, the contract venture, right? We create a logo for the client, and moving forward, we are like, okay, how do we now showcase to this client that okay, we created the right logo for their brand, and then we get stuff like mockups. It's a realistic way of presenting the this thing. We have the logo, we have the building mockups, we have the website mockup, we have the roll up banner mockup, office space mockups and the likes, right? So today we'll be looking at how to create all these kind of mockup, and so in today's section, we'll be looking at different aspects, ranging starting with we'll be focusing on what is mockup, which you have already talked about. What are the importance of mockup? I'm diving into that very soon. What are the sources and how to download mockup that you can use for your design and project? And what are the criteria of a good mockup? Like before you say you want to select a mockup, what are the things to look out for? Then we'll then go into the practical aspect. Okay, so the next point I'll move on to after saying what is a mockup is importance of mockup. One of the importance of mockup you can see in this project is beyond you just presenting a logo to a client can actually see how that logo will actually will function and will be used in real life scenario. This is a mockup of a street signage, for instance. I love this mockup so much because of the feel of the stunning away, the long it's been there, amazing works, right? And other stuff. This is a billboard mockup, right? Right in the street. Okay, so for some of them are aware of Nigerian mockups, yeah, Nigerian mockup. This is not Nigerian mockup. I'm just saying you can get this kind of Nigerian customized mockup for that. Now, what are then? Those are some of the importance of mockup, which is to sell, mainly to sell the idea to the client. Now, after talking about that, what are the sources of download of getting your mockup? There are different sources of getting mockups. You can get mockup from different sources from by starting with going through Google. Now, for the purpose of this project, right? For the purpose of this training, we'll be focusing on creating mockup for a credit card or ATM card. Okay, so I have a design that was done by one of our students at BizCamp. We based on the training we organized recently for them. So he designed this, right, and they what we want to do is that I want to put this in a mockup. How do you go about it? I have said there are different sources to get mockup. You can get mockup from these sources. Number one, you can get mockup from Google. Through going through Google, that means you use Google to search for mockup, and you can get mockup from Telegram. You can get mockup. There are some mockup that are dropped through Behance. You can get mockup from website, and sometimes some of these mockup are free, and sometimes they are for sale, right? Okay, so let's go to Google. Let's go through Google, right? And going through Google, let me open my browser. Yeah, I have it here. Then I have ATM card mockup. Okay, just follow. You can, irrespective of any mockup you want to get, then you have all this. You see, it is showing how they will look realistic. So sometimes I want to add free because it's some can actually be paid, right? It is a way of narrowing this stuff down, and you have all this, right? Then you can decide, oh, which one do you want to go to? You see, free pick here is giving you free mockups. Then we have free plastic debit ID card. Now, there are some criteria to look at before taking mockups. So these are how you get through Google. Now let's go through Telegram. You can just type, go to Telegram, right? Just go on Telegram, just type ATM. Now just use your search engine. It's very very interesting. ATM card mock up. This way you are searching the whole of Telegram database. Then you tap enter. Okay, this is not giving me anything. This is not giving me anything, right? Uh, yes, so okay, it's coming up, right? Yeah, so you just have to be more this the way you check for it, or you can just do credits card, using the keyword mock up. It should definitely bring out some things, right? Okay, so this is, yeah, I know this particular this stuff. Now these are mockups. Please load. I'm waiting for it to load, right? Yeah, so that's another source of getting your mockup. Another source of getting mockup will be through Behance. Yeah, you can actually see some mockup through Behance. If you don't have to use Behance, you can get it through website. Now actually Google is also through website, in the sense that when you go through Google crawlers take you to where you can download your mockup through any website that you want to get it from. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to assume that you have already downloaded your mockup, and that's what I have right here. I have a mockup right here. Mockup usually, yes, I need to state this. Mockup are usually in PSD file. That means Photoshop file .psd, and sometimes there are mockups that are in AI file. Now, understand, the idea of a mockup is to serve as a realistic presentation of your idea, whether a big bomb mockup, whether a hand mockup, whether a ID card mockup, letter ID mockup, t-shirt mockup, anything that happen in realistic format that you want to present in a digital format without actually having, you actually have not printed the shirt, but you want to have the shirt in mockup. So, what are the criteria for a good mockup? There are some certain criteria to look out for when you are selecting your mockup. Number one is the mockup should be HD. That means you want a clear, clean, high definition picture like mockup. Now that's number one. Number two, you want a nice perspective. You want to have a mockup that the perspective and the angle at which the shot was taken, they are usually some left sort of photography is at a very good perspective. You want to use a mockup that is realistic. For instance, a business card falling, for instance, I see people use that. I'm not saying it's totally bad, but I'm saying that oftentimes a business card is placed on table, or is head, right, or whatsoever. Then what I'm saying is that ensure that your mockup is realistic. For instance, another bad use of mockup can be when a tote bag, for instance, is hanging in space, right? That's not a good mockup. You want a tote bag that someone is carrying by the side is more quality than a tote bag that is hanging. Now, you also want to use mockup that is contextual. Contextual means it's relevant to what you are working on, because when I talk about contextual now, what kind of brand are you working on? If you are working on a car brand, using your logo on football might be wrong, right? If you are working on a handbill flyer for a bank now, putting the flyer on the floor might be wrong, right? So what am I saying? When you're working on a car brand, you want to use steering, you want to use jackets, I say steering, chair the car chair casing. I don't know what they call that stuff, right? Steering, alloy rim, and whatsoever, right? And you want to, because you want contextual also means that you want to communicate, because the essence of design is communication, right? You actually want to pass an idea, to communicate that idea. Another thing is that you want it to enhance your messaging. Okay, so mockup should be contextual. Ah, yes, another characteristic of a good mockup is you want it to have human feel. So a mockup that human be maybe a laptop mockups. You want to show a website now. You see the website on a laptop, and someone is sitting in front of that laptop. Is more interesting than laptop is just sitting on the table. Now, not all these criteria you get to see when you are downloading mockups, but these are the things I would say you should look out for. Now, all that being said, right? Let's do a little practice, shall we? Okay. So we move now. What I'm going to do is I have my AI opened, right? This is where the design was done. This is not my homework, right? So the file has been exported. You export it as PNG. Yes, please note you export it as PNG. And what we have here is I've already exported that, and I have them here already. This. Okay, so this is the front. I export it as front and back. Okay, so what next do you do? The next thing you do is you go to your mockup, and then you these are two different mockup. I'm going to open the both of them. You open your mockup on Photoshop. Now, if you don't know how to use Photoshop, that's not an issue. If you can just follow the step by step that I'll give you here, you should not have issue or any challenge using a mockup. Okay, so it's now. So just a minute. Okay, it's Photoshop. Photoshop can be interesting. Okay, okay, almost done, guys. Almost done. So we're using the mockup for this ATM card. You have gone on the line online, you have checked the best mockup that you know will work for your design. You have downloaded the mockup. Now you have created your design whatsoever anything you want to design, and the design is ready. You exported it in PNG. The next thing you want to do is you want to open your mockup PSD on your Photoshop software. And you don't need to be a Photoshop guru to be able to do this, which is why this what this training is meant for. And this thing is kind of slowing me down. Okay, so you see what we have here. This is a mock-up of our ATM card. I love this this other one more, so I'll be staying on this. So the next thing you want to do is you want to control O. You want to control means you want to open that PNG file. Let me just say go here, open, open. I just want to open a new file, right? Just look at what I'm doing. So front, okay, I'm not using this, sorry. What I do when I want to work on prayer like this, I go to the folder I'm working on, then I control C, control C this thing, then I paste it here, paste, yeah, paste, yeah, then I press enter. I open the front, right? Let me control O, open again. I go for the back, I open the back. So my target is to bring those guys down here. Now you can use this sample for any form of mockup you are working on. Now you have to take note of something. Place your design here. Most time mockup used to have these are called smart objects, right? What you have to do is you have to go to this small stuff here. Then you double click. You just smart object thumbnail. You double click it. Then the next thing that happens is that it opened the front, right? It opened the front. Control minus is zoom in. Control plus is zoom out on Photoshop. Then what I want to do is I want to bring. Listen up. You go to your this thing. Then you drag this particular this. You see I'm dragging it. You drag it to it here and you drop it there. Now, once you drop it there, what you want to do is you want to expand is Control T. You expand Control T. Control T is transform. You click it and you expand and you drag. You drag. Just ensure that this thing is fixed. Yes, now it is fixed. Yeah. Then I want to delete this. Then I Control S. Yes, that is very important. After you have, you see, this page is still open. So what you have to do is once you get here and you bring in the new this thing, you Control S it. When you Control S, it's saved. You see it's loading. Can you see? It's just loaded, right? If you go here now, look what have happened. You have your ATM card in the mockup. Then the next thing you want to do is you go to the second one. Now, what you did here is for the first one, for the front. Then you go here for the back. Sometimes it can be more, much more than this, right? Control minus zoom. Then what do? You take this back. What else should you do? You drag. So you make sure you drag to the back, then drop. Then what I do is that I bring the I Control T to transform. Then I, increase the size. I increase the size until it is fixed. Okay, now I see it is fixed. Then I enter, right? Enter. Then I kind of off this guy. Though it's not totally fixed, right? It's not totally fixed. I can still see a little. You have to be careful of that. Sorry. Okay, so we have this, right? Then you enter. The next thing you want to do is you want to control S to save. Just save. Once you are done saving, then you go to your main work. Tada, you have your mockup done. So irrespective of any kind of design you are working on, whether it's shirt mockup, whether it's building mockup, once you understand the basic parameter of design, you can actually create a mockup. So hey guys, I really appreciate you for staying through to this section. If you have any question, please ensure to drop it in the comment section. And I believe that you have enjoyed this training. Please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and also like and share with your friends. Thank you very much, and do have a lovely day. Bye.